No, there's a lot of chubby guys out there.
that are healthy.
Health relative, yeah. I mean, obviously, you want to not carry as much weight. You can be healthy, but be more susceptible to other comorbidities. Maybe not necessarily have them, but be more susceptible to them. So you could technically be healthy, but more riskier because hey, you put yourself more at risk for more, comorbidities. But
Right. So I'm just saying, if you had a son that was, let's say, chubby,
yeah.
and so are you pushing him to, let's say, get into more of a shape that's not having him more prone to these comorbidities? Or you just saying just be happy with your shape? This is
no, with a son.
Oh, with a son. You're saying it like it's different. Go ahead.
No, it's not different.
Teach me more. Teach me more.
No, I'm not saying it differently. No, I think you have to be careful. So it's funny.
Yo.
Happy Monday. What's going on, man?
Just woke up from a good nap, man.
God, dude. Who can nap at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock? You're my hero.
Yeah, well, you work 5 jobs like a Jamaican. Gotta squeeze those naps in whenever you can,
I didn't know you was a Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Come on.
How's the weekend? How's the family?
No weekend. I worked.
Okay.
Yeah, I volunteered to go in. They were short-staffed, so I got a little bit of basketball in though. I'm not gonna give up my Sunday mornings.
Sunday morning basketball. Nice.
I played against this guy who looks like Pascal Siakam.
Okay.
And he reminded me that although on some days I may feel strong,
yep,
I'm not strong. This guy was pretty real. So,
was he talking about from a physical sense or from an emotional sense?
From a physical sense.
So he basically strengthened you down low, and you had no answers for
pretty much.
Basically, yeah. Okay, got it.
Pretty much.
Got it.
I had to ask him after the game. I'm like, yo, you're doing spin moves. How am I not able to get around you? And he's like, yeah, man, I just feel you, and then when I feel you here, I just spin, and I'm like, all right, whatever. You a strong nigga.
So he basically told you what he was gonna do, strengthened you, and you had no answers.
No answers, man.
Oh, okay. That sucks.
Might be the vegan diet. I don't know.
It might be, yeah. Put a couple something else that's got high protein in that diet. I don't know what that would be.
I don't know. We'll figure something out though. How was your weekend?
Pretty good. Actually, I was solo for the weekend with the kids. The wife actually took a girls' weekend. She met a friend of hers. They were out in Chicago, I believe. Yeah, Chicago. So, the kids ate a lot of dad meals and joked around. Spent a lot of time with the kids though. But it's always good whenever you get to have that one-on-one time with the kids.
Oh, no doubt.
Had some nice bonding time with my daughter. She's 14.
Right.
Had the ability to just have a one-on-one conversation with her. It's important. I take this dad thing real serious to be able to take that time and pour into my daughter, especially, from a dad perspective, just kind of building up that always just kind of affirming her, letting her know that I'm proud of her regardless. As a father, she always have that male sort of figure in her life. She don't need to be out there looking for that. You know what I mean? We could talk about that later. But I think it's very important from my perspective. I'm always affirming my daughter, especially my son as well. Both of them actually equally. But Black dads matter, and I think it's important that we're definitely taking that time, and especially if you've got multiple kids. My wife and I are actually big on I'll have daddy daughter dates, she'll have mom son dates where we split them up, but give them their own individual time with the parent. I think that's very important.
Definitely.
Yeah. So that's what I had the opportunity to do. So I was cooking meals, cleaning, doing laundry.
Yeah. Speaking of
daddy stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of having that time speaking to your daughter, you want to also show your daughter what a man is and what a man does and what a good husband and father does, and then eventually they're gonna go out into the world and look for somebody like their dad, So
Yeah. I always say, like, you know, to your point, Dwayne, like, kids see everything. You'd be surprised of all the things they see. They see like everything, and
see and hear everything. Right?
see and hear everything. And I kind of feel this in my heart, like the greatest gift I can give my son and the greatest gift I can give my daughter is how I treat like their mother, right? Like, so how I treat their mother from my daughter's perspective will set the tone for like what she would expect and not expect. And then for my son, like the type of girl like he's gonna be, like how does he treat a female, or like how does he, like, go about that relationship piece. I think how you treat their mother in a stable home environment, I think goes a long way. I think this could be another conversation. I don't want to go down this lane because, you know, I myself, of course, was raised by a single mom, but seeing, and we've talked about advantages, disadvantages, and stuff like that, but like seeing some of the advantages that kids have with coming out of I know it's kind of controversial, and I might get canceled for saying that kids being in a home that's got stable 2-parent household have advantages over maybe some of the kids that grew up like me, right? Like that grew up on welfare with a single mom.
Yeah.
There's a lot of disadvantages to that.
Yeah. And not to say that that's something that's possible to do.
Correct.
My mother, I think did a good job. I had a stepfather for a while, and then I didn't have a stepfather for a while. So it is more difficult, but it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. I agree.
Yeah.
I don't want to be clear. Like my dad today in my life is my guy, right? Like that's my dude. Like he's been in my life more than he hasn't been, but in my youth, in my formative years, that's kind of when we were just kind of like living in the shelter or getting evicted and like living on welfare. Like that sort of like that childhood is what sort of like pushes me to be, I don't want to say successful, but like pushes me to like make sure that my kids and my wife, like, or the type of lifestyle I live now, there's always that fear of not going back. It's always in the back of your mind, right? And I think those formative years of my youth really kind of shaped that.
So, what are we talking about today, man?
So I wanted you to put the link to a video I sent. I want to talk about a mother's love really quick.
Okay.
But father's love too, but really a mother's love. So Dwayne's going to put it in the chat. It's a 2.5-minute video of the mom, Angelique Gomez.
I'm going to try and put the video in the thing. If I can't, the link will be in the description.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. A mother who ran inside Robb Elementary School during last week's massacre is telling her story to CBS News.
Right away as I parked, U.S. Marshals started coming toward my car saying that I wasn't allowed to be parked there. And he said, well, we're going to have to arrest you because you're being very uncooperative. I said, well, you're going to have to arrest me because I'm going in there, and I'm telling you right now, I don't see none of y'all in there. Y'all are standing with snipers, and y'all are far away. If y'all don't go in there, I'm going in there. He immediately put me in cuffs.
She says after Uvalde police officers told marshals to uncuff Gomez, she ran towards the school.
As soon as they uncuffed me, I jumped that first gate fence. And once I jumped it, I went to my son's class, and I knocked on the door, and I remember the teacher saying, I'm like, hey, they're already bulge cutting the fence to get me. She's like, you think we have time to get out? I said, y'all have time. I'm going to run for my other son.
Once she was assured her son was okay, Gomez ran to get her other child.
I see that they're opening my son's door. I go run for my son, and I get him.
With both of her kids out safe, Gomez still can't shake the thought of those who didn't make it.
The gunshots were still active. They were not in there. There was no one in there. If anything, when I pulled up, my car was closer to the school than where the snipers and everybody that was laying on the ground were. They could have saved many more lives. They could have gone into that classroom and maybe 2 or 3 would have been gone, but they could have saved the whole class. They could have done something. Gone through the window, sniped them through the window. I mean, something, but nothing was being done. If anything, they were being more aggressive on us parents that were willing to go in there. And like I told one of the officers, I don't need you to protect me. Get away from me. I don't need your protection. If anything, I need you to go in there with me to go protect my kids. And if anything, they were being more aggressive on us They were more pertained on keeping us back than getting into that school.
I don't know where you are, Dwayne. Have you been following the Uvalde stuff? I personally cannot follow it anymore. Every time I see a new story, I try to change the subject and move on from it. It's just too heartbreaking, dude. It's just way too heartbreaking. And then, but out of that, first of all, there's going to be a huge report, Dwayne, that's going to come out. Those little kids were calling 911 for like an hour. Hey, I'm shot. I'm bleeding. My teacher's bleeding. Can you come in and help me? Those kids were alive, bleeding, shot, begging for help. And those cowards sat in the hall. So if I start talking about this, I actually will get emotional. So I'm not going to go down the line there. I think people know the story. But this Angelique Gomez story really gave me a lot of hope for like humanity, but it also speaks like this mother's love. This mom, this like 90-pound woman, if you look at the video, right? Like she ran into that building. She had 2 kids, had to fight the cops, got handcuffed, got unhandcuffed, and bolted into that building to save her kids. Like I would think that I would do the same thing. I know for a fact my wife would turn into an absolute tornado. She would turn into a literal tornado if that was to happen, right? Like, but a mother's love, she just ran in there and got both her kids out of the school. Yeah. And so you're looking for like silver linings, something at the end of the rainbow, if you will. I mean, the story just has no bottom. But that story was, I wanted to share and just speak with it briefly. It was just kind of inspirational. I don't know if have you been following much of this shooting in Texas?
You know, I don't watch the news that much. However,
yeah,
the shootings, like the multiple shootings, let's not, miss the Buffalo shooting.
Yep.
Let's not, the Texas shooting, the Philadelphia shooting. Like it's seeming like the list is going on and on. So for me to avoid that is kind of impossible. But I also wanted to ask if you heard about, speaking of Texas, if you heard about how there was a report that the police went in to get their kids to safety,
got their kids,
and then they went back.
Yeah.
And, at first glance, and, I want to go back and forth with this about this. At first glance, it sounds crazy. Like the police went in to get their kids and didn't save the rest of the kids.
Right.
Okay. So put yourself in the shoes, because I always do this. Put yourself in the shoes of the cops. Okay.
Okay. Who are human beings.
Who are human beings.
They are human beings. I'm listening to you. Yep.
Human beings. You hear that there's an active shooter at the school that your kids go to.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. You are a police officer.
Yep.
Okay.
You took an oath.
You took an oath. Protect and serve.
You did training. You did training also on active shooting drills. You did this specifically. Go ahead.
Definitely.
Go ahead.
You're a police officer. You're also a father.
Yes.
Okay. What do you do? Like, are you going there thinking, all right, we have to neutralize this active shooter. We're going to follow the protocol, Or are you thinking, my kids are in that school?
Yeah.
I got to save my kids.
Then
I'll save everybody else. Like,
yeah.
Let's keep it real. Like, I understand, the police are the police are cowards. I get it, all of that.
Yeah.
The police are cowards. They went in and got their kids and didn't get anybody else. Well, that's what the mother did. The mother
you can't compare.
Said she saw her son's class, got her, and then she running out.
And she got
saying, everybody, let's go. No.
Yeah.
And is she wrong for that?
No, hell no. That mom is not wrong for that.
No.
But the police are.
The police who went to get their children are.
Yes. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. You know who told me that? Two-Face from
I knew some Batman shit. I know it.
From the Dark Knight. Listen, Dwayne, as you're thinking as Dwayne Loblack, like if
No, I really try in all circumstances, whether it sound crazy or not.
Yeah.
What if I was that person?
The cop
in
or the
that
parent.
circumstance, what do I do? It's easy for us to say, but you're a cop.
Yes.
Do what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
And if you are a cop and your children are in that thing and they might get killed, are you thinking save your children?
No, so let me agree with you. If I'm the cop and I took the oath and I got a bulletproof vest and I got the gun and I had the training, I'm going in there first and foremost and get my kids out. I agree with you. I'm hugging them and I'm kissing them and I'm telling them to go over there by the trees and wait for their mother. I got to go back in.
Yeah.
But these guys didn't. They stayed in the hallway and Dwayne, the little kids were calling, dude. They were calling for an hour for help while they stood. Yeah. There's no bottom to this. And I get it. You're trying to be a human and you're trying to put yourself in those officers' shoes. And what would I do? And is it all bad? Dude, it's bad, man.
No, but the point that they got their kids first, are they wrong for that?
No, they're not wrong for that. I would have done the same thing. So I will give you that.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. The fact that they didn't go in there, I don't think that as 100% collective, and tell me if you think I'm wrong on this. I don't think as 100% collective, all of the cops were saying, let's stay out here and not go save them kids. I'm sure
they were all waiting. They were trained. They had the guns. The border patrol were there and they were like, even the border patrol, because it wasn't their jurisdiction, but they were cops. They're like, why are you guys not going in there? They were sitting there waiting for backup. They were the backup. They were it. That they were there. The parents, Dwayne, think about the parents are screaming. There's videos all over YouTube and social media. Yeah. The parents are just incredulous. The parents are getting tased. The parents are getting handcuffed.
Yeah, I think I saw that video too. I might put some of that video.
No, Dwayne. Listen.
Right, but is that the cops being cowards, or are they following the order from somebody that's a coward?
That was the cops being cowardly. They were being.
So you believe?
Yeah.
That somebody said, go in there and save those kids, and the cops was like,
no, nobody said that.
I'm gonna wait a little bit.
No. That's again, Dwayne. That's the problem. The leader, the leader, please did not say that. Right. But Dwayne, where have we gone? Where are the hero shoot 'em up bang bang cops that I grew up with? And these are fictional, of course, right? But like, where's Riggs and Murtaugh? Where's Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett? Where's those shoot 'em up bang bang cops that don't listen to authority and they're wild cards and they just go and do what they got to do? Where are those guys? They were never real.
I do know where they are.
Where are they? Where are they?
I'll tell you exactly where they are.
Where are they?
Hollywood.
That's true. But
Hollywood.
There had to be somebody that went rogue though, dude. Like, I have a gun. There's kids in there. They're calling 911. It would have put my intestines in knots if I was just standing there on my ass. Just for me personally.
Yeah, no, I understand it. I understand completely.
It's just bad. And so there's going to be a full report, man. Somebody's going to do the timeline. They're going to splice all the 911 calls. There was some dude that was a mechanic that tried to help the guy when he first gets to school. He crashes a car, and some dude from some business comes out and then tries to help him. Hey, you were in an accident. I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah.
And then but the guy comes out, gives him a wild-eyed look, takes his gun out of the car and like shoots at this dude. So he calls his wife and is like, "Hey, bring me my gun." I think he's like I think he's a mortician, right? Because I think he was saying that he feels, because now he's doing all the funerals and he's saying how he feels bad that maybe he couldn't have done more.
Yeah.
And he got caught lacking in the moment without his gun. So here's my other question for you now, Mr. Loblack. Do you own a weapon?
I think I had this discussion with you. I do not own a weapon and I do not plan to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a conversation that me and my wife are starting to evolve. We have a pistol that I keep locked away that collects dust. Right. So I have it name only. I think I've shot it once 3 years ago at the gun range with a bunch of buddies and we went drinking afterwards. Right. It might need to get dusted off, honestly. When people are getting shot in grocery stores, They're getting shot in downtown Philly, just out hanging out,
Right.
getting shot in schools. You're never going to get rid of the guns. You're never gonna do it, dude. There's about 330 million people in the United States, give or take. We've got about 450 guns in this country.
Right.
There are gun laws. The kid that bought that gun passed a background check. The dude who shot his doctor that same day bought his gun that same day. Didn't have a record, right? Didn't have anything that would be a red flag.
Right.
People snapped, dude. He was in pain. He snapped, and he just bought a gun, shot his doctor the same day. Like,
how old was that person?
the dude that shot his doctor?
Yeah. Was he over 21?
He was over 21. Yeah, he was an older man.
Yeah, I was just watching a clip of the news.
This was in Tulsa. Yeah. So this shooting that reference was in Tulsa. The doctor was a black doctor, right? Went to Yale and Harvard. The doctor, just helping patients.
Oh, what was the? Did they try to figure out what motivated the shooting? Is the shooter alive or?
No, the shooter's dead. The motive is clear. He blamed the doctor, for his botched back surgery.
Oh,
and that he was calling for help, and just felt like the doctor didn't do a good enough job. So the doctor was named Dr. Preston Phillips. He's one of 4 people that died. He was the target. The guy bought the gun with the motive of killing this doctor and anyone that got in his way. So while he's going to shoot and kill his doctor, apparently 3 other people get in his way. They also lose their lives on just a regular day, dude. They're just going to work, doing regular day. Got dressed. I ate breakfast. I kissed my wife, or I kissed my husband. I sent my kids to school. I go to work as some receptionist at some nondescript doctor's office in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I'm not going home that night because somebody comes in and kills. Like, it's a tough time. And I know you say you don't follow news and stuff, but you got to kind of be aware of some of this stuff too. Now, I'm not saying be afraid. Like, I'm not in fear, or I'm not out, like, not going places, but I am hyper aware of, like, trying to get better at it. I can be pretty aloof. My wife always, like, makes fun of me and, like, pay attention what's around your surroundings, but you have to kind of just be aware.
So I am aware of my surroundings.
Good.
For me, and I know it might sound crazy, these shootings are not my surroundings. That the shootings are the news. And the news is what I don't focus on. I don't focus on it. I'm hearing it because it's everywhere. I can't avoid it. And I'll give my opinion on it. But as far as, like, what I focus on, I'm not focused on that.
Because you don't follow news and you don't follow current events like that.
I don't. Right.
And I think that's fair. I think, though, that these events that we're talking about are just so heinous and just so outside the bear that even someone like you who's not really watching the news, whereas I'm on Twitter every day, right? But, like, someone like you, it's like even these incidences are so heinous and so just spectacular in a bad way. Like, you have to be aware of them. I just to be aware of what's going on. Yeah.
So I hear that, and the word that you use, heinous. I want the same energy that people put towards heinous things that are happening, and they want to be super aware of the heinous things that are happening in the world. What about the beautiful things that are happening in the world?
Okay.
This world is not. I mean, it's all perspective. In my perspective, the world is not a dark, heinous world. It's a beautiful world.
Okay.
So I talked to somebody else who's going through, tough times, abuse, trauma. The world is dark. So I get it. But the world's not like that for me. So I'm not going to focus on that. And that's kind of what I teach my kids. Like, focus on the positive and you'll see the world as beautiful. Yeah, bad things are going to happen, but that's not what you should focus on.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you always want to have a positive mindset. You know, for us in our home, it's, you know, giving glory to God and looking things from a Christ-centered perspective, but always from the positive. I get it. Not disagreeing with that, but I would also say don't focus on the news, to your point, because it will make you sick to your stomach and make you depressed, and maybe you need to unplug from Twitter, John, or unplug from the news.
Twitter? What's Twitter?
Yeah, right. But like,
we're still waiting for our Twitter to get put up.
Go out and take a walk or something like that, but don't focus on it too much. I agree with all of that.
Yeah.
Just be aware. Is what I would say.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
I do want to see these reports, though. I do want to see them. I said that, you know, I don't believe that 100% of those cops were outside quivering and shaking. I feel like some of them was like, I should go in, and somebody was telling them not to go in or else. And you're saying you want that cop to say, fuck this job, click, click, and then, you know, go down there.
Not F this job, but like those.
That's what I'm saying.
Your orders. No, I want a cop to say your orders to stand down are immoral, and I am not listening to them. I have the ability to save lives here of little kids. And if you're telling me on the radio, I mean, unless you're willing to shoot me in the back as I run away from, like, as your colleague, you're not stopping me from going in there and confronting this guy with the AR.
So it sounds.
You're gonna have to shoot me in the back.
It doesn't sound realistic, though.
It does sound. It's totally realistic.
Not sound realistic.
So
what if it's people that genuinely feel like they have a plan, and you say, F your plan, I'm gonna do what I want to do. In the moment when it's life and death, heroes are made by the people that make quick decisions, decisive decisions. Bro, if you have a whole bunch of people that make quick, decisive decisions.
When a life and death situation, balls have to be used, unfortunately. Sorry, like, you got to think with your balls, and like,
I get it. You know, in hindsight, it's very easy to say all of this.
Well, 1,000%. And the cop did say that. The cop did say that in the press conference. Hindsight, we probably did the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But it's their active shooting training tells them not to wait. They went against their training.
Exactly. So you hear
tells them not to wait. No, their training tells them not to wait. They should have been kicking the door, waving the 4-4.
Exactly. No,
but they didn't.
I'm agreeing on that part. What I believe is that they were told not to.
Yeah, but whoever told them not to went against the training and the protocol.
Well, the report's going to say.
The report will say. Just the day this happened to was the last day of my kids' school, because my kids are here on.
So you was like, whew.
I was actually.
Yeah.
It was.
It's funny because it's not funny, but on that same day. Yo, this slide, bro.
Yeah.
On that same day, we had a code red. I don't know if they call it code red down there.
Okay.
There's like something going on in the school or out or around the school area. So we had a code red, and what happened was a girl stabbed a boy outside.
Yeah.
So they said code red, so everybody shuts off the lights, closes the blinds, everybody gets into a corner, and everybody stays quiet, right? And you know, my student, he don't care about no code red. He over there making noise. Oh, I said, my student, he doesn't care. He's over there making noise and jumping around. And I'm like, I'm saying be quiet, but he doesn't understand. He's, you know, low functioning.
Mm-hmm.
We put on YouTube and turn it quiet, and he just goes in front of the TV, sits Indian style and watches YouTube. And we're like, all right, he's quiet. We're safe, because we don't know what's going on at the time.
Right.
But yeah, on that exact same day of that shooting, we had a code red.
You had a kid get stabbed at your school. Is the kid okay?
Yeah, the kid lived. Yeah.
And what happens to the kid that stabbed him? Are they gone out of school forever?
The girl. So it was conflicting reports as to whether the girl even went to the school. I don't know if the girl went to the school, the girl that stabbed him.
Yeah, so that's not very reassuring.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
To parents of the students.
yeah,
That
understand if that got stabbed. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not very reassuring at all.
Right. But yeah. So speaking of the positive things,
Yeah,
Golden State won.
Golden State, Draymond was doing Draymond things. What did you think about Draymond's performance last night?
It was good.
You
It
know,
was what Draymond is built for, to get under people's skin and
yeah,
just rattle people, not make them comfortable. That's what he does, man.
yeah. I think he was on his job.
Yeah.
I think that was also, and I agree with you. I don't know that incident he had with Brown. I guess they fall over each other and then he pushes them in the back and they're kind of going like, this is the final, son. You know, I'm talking to Jaylen Brown here, right? Like talking to you, Tatum, talking to you, Celtics players. Like, this is the NBA Finals, right? It's a physical league. It's still a man's league. I know we've taken a lot of defense and hand checking out of the game. This isn't the 80s or the 90s, and I get that too, but it's still, the finals. And so I think Ime Udoka, the coach of the Celtics, should maybe show that tape to the team and be like, look, refs swallowed their whistle. You want to win a championship. And I think they will. I think they will. But I'm convinced there's a lot of people that are saying this, and I'm convinced that Boston's a better team just from the player perspective. And it kind of has shades for me, Dwayne, and I don't know if you might disagree with this because I know D Wade and is your boy LeBron. I'm a big LeBron fan, but like that year the Heat lost, they were clearly like the better talented team when they lost to the Dallas that year in 2001. They were the best talent, but they weren't the best like team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I feel like Golden State just has the absolute like experience, team play, how everything runs through Steph, but his presence creates open shots like for everyone. And Draymond just being Draymond, I think their experience definitely comes through. But I do think Boston maybe is a better talented team from a talent pound per pound perspective. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. They're better talented. You got Jason, you got Jaylen. Yeah, two of the most dynamic young talents out there. That's definitely the most talented team out of the two. But as far as like, experience, team, Golden State, man, they've been there, they've done that, they know each other. I feel like that at the end of the day is gonna push them over the hump now.
Let's see. All right, so you're KD. Put your KD hat on. You're Kevin Durant right now.
I'm KD.
Okay. All right.
They call me KD on the court sometimes, so I can do this.
KD, how you feeling about these finals? Who do you want to win in these finals, KD?
Oh, the Celtics. Go Celtics. Oh man.
You think so? You think he's rooting for the Celtics, huh?
Yeah, I do. What do you think?
I don't know. A lot of people see the thing with KD is, I follow him on Twitter. He claps back at all. Like, how most athletes get talked about him.
Yeah, they stay quiet.
They stay quiet. He claps back at everybody, and so he's been kind of speaking. I don't know if he made it up. I haven't looked recently, but like, there's this narrative that they don't need KD, or that maybe those two championships they won with him, maybe he still wasn't really the best player. I don't know. I think they were a great team when they had him. Those finals, they beat LeBron in the finals. We might have to
talk about that actually after you make your point. Who was the best player on those teams? So go ahead.
I don't know. Okay, so first from KD's perspective, I probably think he probably wants the Celtics to win so people can stop trolling him about them not needing him.
They didn't need him, yeah.
But who was the best team? Who was the best player in those teams?
Yeah.
So we actually recently, I think, to reference our group chat, I think we were going back and forth on this.
Yeah.
It's hard to say the best player, and it's sort of a cop-out answer. But this is what makes Steph Curry so great, is that he was a great ascending player. He's still a great player, and he deferred to Kevin Durant a lot, allowed Kevin Durant to take the last shot. So Kevin Durant had the opportunity to take the last shot, had the opportunity to have the offense flow through him, and Steph didn't make hay about that, make any issues about that. Like, that's a big deal in the ego-driven world of sports. And look, I'm not going to tell any professional athlete not to be egotistical, not to make demands. This is how you become a professional athlete. You have to have uber confidence.
Right.
Asshole meter has to be up to like a level 12 on a scale of 10, right? Just to make it to that level. And then to remain there, because the amount of coaching trying to tear you down, fans tearing you down, like all in the effort of getting better, right? But like, you have to have that ultimate confidence and stuff to be able to take a step back and let KD kind of take that mantle, and then but still be great. And I've had this conversation with you. I think Steph Curry's changed the game. I think everyone's kind of talked about that. It's true. You know, the all NBA team, as you know, every year the AP votes on who's like the best starting five NBA first team, second team, third team, right? Mm-hmm. And there's the top guards, top forwards, top centers. They're going to do it positionless next year because everyone shoots threes because there's no back to the body big men. They've been made obsolete by Steph Curry. Imagine if you're Dwight Howard. This is the last point I'm making. I'll let you take the floor. When you came into the league as Dwight Howard, you were a back to the basket big man in Orlando. You were like defensive player of the year. You were awesome. Like, you were like MVP consideration. You were like one of the best players in the league. And from the time you came into the league, over the next 10, 12 years, you watched the league sort of morph into this shooting, spread the floor league. Now you're a 6-man coming off somebody's bench to get, you know, try hard minutes and rebounds.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah.
Where this B came from?
Steph Curry or KD? Go. Give me your diagnosis.
So I think the best player on the team and the most important player on the team would probably be two different conversations.
Okay.
The most important player on those teams was 100% Stephen Curry.
Okay.
Without Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant wouldn't be as open as he would be normally. None of the players will be as open as they would be. He opens up so much due to his shooting ability.
Yep.
So, and on top of that, he's selfless. He's a great passer, great basketball IQ. Like, they wouldn't have won nothing without him.
Yep.
On the flip side, without Kevin Durant, they would have been fine. Kevin Durant is a great scorer, but other people would have had to step up, and I feel like they would have. And you're seeing it this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to answer that question, the most important player will be Steph Curry. The best player, offensively,
KD's an awesome player. It's a hard conversation. Like, you can't. There's no wrong answer. I guess I would say KD is an amazing, unguardable player.
It's a wrong answer. There's a wrong answer.
As far as player skill, as far as important,
you talking about
important?
Best player, you mean? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just talking about as a player in general. Like, KD is an awesome player.
Right.
All right, Dwayne, you wanted to kind of break us down on Kaizen philosophy.
Yeah.
So now we had something we had it at work.
Okay.
We had it at work like a decade ago, and we got rid of it. So the Kaizen is a Japanese business philosophy.
Okay.
Focuses on improving productivity by involving all employees and making the work environment more efficient. It's all about efficiency.
Okay.
And I remember as a manager, they used to make us like, you have to go to the work and like see what the people are doing. And basically just got in everybody's way from a manager perspective. Yeah, we did it at work. We did it at work a while ago. So how is that something that you're a big believer in, and how do you incorporate that in your daily life?
Well, I'm a huge believer in it.
Okay. Well, what was my definition appropriate? Do you have a working definition of Kaizen? Or what I read to you, was that accurate?
So I feel like as it relates to business, I feel like that's the definition of it. Okay. But as it pertains to life, it's all about continuous improvement.
Okay.
So you're always improving. Small incremental improvements over the long term will create large improvements. So that's what it is in business also. I guess they want to see small improvements in a lot of different areas. And then the business as a whole will see the greater improvement, right? So just like I was doing, and I'm still doing the 30 tasks to 30 days, that is, using the Kaizen philosophy where I'll ask you to do like small things that seem insignificant at the time, but when you combine everything, it will, translate to something great. So I feel like everybody should work towards like making small improvements in their life, but staying consistent and continuous with them. Because once you do that, then over time, you'll be like, oh my God, like if you started out doing 1 push-up a day, right? And, go up 1 push-up every week. At first, it won't feel like anything. You'll go down, you'll do 1 push-up, you'll come up, it'll be done, right? But after a year, you'll be doing 50 push-ups. And then you'll wonder, like, how did I get here? And it's because you stay consistent and continuous with your improvement. And you can do that in all aspects of your life. And I feel like that's something that people need to start adopting in their daily lives.
Give us an example, Dwayne, of what something that you've done in your life that you feel like came up, you started doing gradually, that is now something that's a routine that you have, and the benefits of that.
Right. So I used to, just like I just used the example of push-ups. I started doing 10 push-ups.
Okay.
And 10 push-ups was simple. And I made it all the way to 81 push-ups. And I think I stopped at 81 because, well, I don't know why I stopped at that number, but it was probably like a mental wall. Once I got to 81, my muscles would just give out. I don't know. But the fact that I was able to get to 81, where before I could only get to like 40, I feel like was a testament to me just sticking with the plan of going up 1 every day. And if I didn't make the 1, then I would do the same amount the next day and just sticking with it. And I feel like, that can translate to anything in life. So I feel like, I'm telling you guys out there in the metaverse, pick something in the world that you want to improve on. For me, I wanted to do 100 push-ups straight. I wasn't able to do that. I actually gave up, but anything in the world that you want to do, stick with it continuously, even if it seems like you're not making progress. Like you go to the weight room, you do a workout, you come out looking like you did yesterday, right? But if you consistently go to the weight room and you have a routine and you don't deviate from that, eventually you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to have a before and after picture that looks crazy, right? So that's what I wanted to push across. Like, let's do that. Let's improve ourselves, man.
I like it. Stick-to-itiveness.
Not
getting discouraged. How do you fight discouragement? To your point, like, what do you do to fight that off?
Well, one thing that I'm trying to do, as we're in this group trying to do the 30 for 30 challenge, and I'm trying to be an accountability partner where, if one day you don't feel like doing it, I want to be like a motivating person where like, hey, did you do it? Come on, you can do this. Like sometimes you can't do it by yourself.
Right.
Sometimes you need like a kick in the butt to say, hey, come on, we're all doing this. We're all pulling for you. Let's do this. So, I mean, that's one idea. Maybe you have another idea, something that would help you to do something when you're not yourself able to push through, you not feeling to do something.
No, I think you hit the nail right on the head, Dwayne. I think in anything, when you think about like AA or like all those self-help places, you always need like a sponsor, basically somebody to kick you in the ass, to your point, somebody to like push you. You can do it. I've done it. I can relate to you. I think that's big. And I think people could look for, like, I guess, who is in your life holds you accountable? Who can you call? And maybe as men, like, I probably need one. I'm looking for, like, who do you trust enough in your life? Especially probably men probably struggle with this too, but like, and it could be from a spiritual perspective. It could be from a vice perspective, like, right, like, hey, I want to quit drinking, or I want to stop smoking marijuana, or whatever, right? Like, you can't, to your point, it's hard to do it just by yourself, like cold turkey. And so I think, do you have somebody in your life that you trust that will hold you accountable, but from a place where, because you know they care for you, and that you can call them at any time of the night and be like, hey, I'm struggling, I need help, I need to be replenished, if you will, or lifted up. And it sounds like that's something that you're looking to be like for people, right, Dwayne? It's kind of what you were saying, like being that rock or whatever.
Yeah, I definitely want to be that type of person. As far as the person that I would go to, my wife, my mother, those two people, and my aunt. Those women in my life are people that I would go to if I'm feeling like I can't do something or I can't accomplish anything. They'll give me the reassurance to say, you know what, you can. What are you talking about?
Right.
And normally, I don't even like to put the negativity out there, but when it comes to that point where I'm feeling a little bit down, they're the ones to give me that little extra oomph to like say, you know how you are. Like, come on, get back on track. So
right.
I would say those three people.
That's good. Yeah.
What about you?
So definitely, like to you, like my wife, definitely someone I would like, hey, I'm feeling down about this or something like that. I'd definitely go to her. Really no one else. And then it's probably not a good thing. Like, I really think about it. I have you guys and stuff like that, but I think a lot of times
there go that.
That
he just wanted to let me know he's here still, but yeah, go ahead.
The beat's coming. Yeah, I got to think about that more. Who do I trust to be vulnerable with? To say, I'm not feeling like I was feeling pretty down about work and stuff like that. And I think I told you guys my feelings about that, and I told my wife about that too. So I do try to be vulnerable when it's needed. It's a good outlet too to get some of that stuff off your chest. Because as men, sometimes, a lot of times, well, if you're a chauvinist, kind of like me, which I can be sometimes, you keep a lot of the weakness inside, but that's not good. It's not a good thing.
But yeah, man.
A lot of stuff in chat as always, man. It's just crazy things that come up. You had your Kaizen breakdown. Definitely, I think I agree with you. Looking for ways to continue to improve yourself in any way, and have like a life coach. I think to your point, right? Who challenges you? Who do you challenge? Who holds you accountable in your life? Definitely look to see if you have someone like that in your life. Could be a spouse, to your point, mother, parent, friend, cousin, whatever. And we talked about this shooting, which I said I don't want to talk about. Every time I talk about it, I can't stop. I want it to be done. I don't want this to ever happen again.
Yeah, but it will. Right? It will. And you saw the I don't watch the news, but I keep seeing these things. You saw the New York law that was passed about you can't buy guns if you're under 21.
Yeah, it could be over 21.
I mean, that's yeah.
You could do that in New York.
You don't want young people buying assault weapons. I mean, that's helpful.
That's helpful, but it wouldn't have helped that doctor in Tulsa.
Exactly.
Maybe it keeps those people in Buffalo, but I'd have to do the research. But if I think about, didn't the kid that in Parkland take his parents' gun, shoot his parents, and then kill the kids in Parkland? So a lot of these shooters don't buy these guns on their own. I think it's a bit of a knee jerk too, and I get people get emotional and they feel like I got to do something.
Yeah.
But a lot of times these guns are from the parents.
Yeah.
There's the parents that got arrested on recently on a shooting, but because it was their gun, but they don't secure it, and then the kid gets it. So that law wouldn't help if that happens, either. I mean,
maybe it's just like a show thing.
It is a show thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, brother.
Great conversation.
Yep, as always. That kid was 15 in Michigan. Sorry. So the parents that got arrested, that was a shooting in Michigan. And the parents got arrested as they should have been, honestly. as they should have been.
So we focusing on gun laws or on mental health? Let's end it with that. I'm asking.
This could be a whole nother conversation around.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week, but
it depends on how gun laws aren't going to help. Listen, I'm not here to be like, I can give you an emotional answer or I can give you a rational, because I see just there's 400 million guns in this country. And we have gun laws, and every time people got shot up, the gun laws that were in place the law got broken, right? So there was, carry, but somebody's still in their mom or dad's gun. So it's mental health, but like we also need to dig back into the man, into young boys. There's not a lot of babies being born. We didn't have a baby boom during COVID, like many people thought we would. Birth rates in the United States are way down. There's some reports that say just young people just aren't having sex like you would think. And a lot of these young men are on the internet. They're playing games. A lot of incels. I don't know what we got to maybe address. Maybe some of the interpersonal relationships. Maybe some of these young men just need girlfriend. Like that's a glib answer. I don't mean to be glib, but like, why is there a breakdown in relationships? There's no babies being born. We didn't have baby boom, and we got a lot of young men with a lot of time on their hands, not really having a lot of interpersonal relationships with anybody. When you say mental health, that's even in itself, that's an easy answer, because yes, if somebody's schizophrenic or bipolar, like we can like address that. But I think there's a lot of unhappiness and a lot of loneliness.
Yeah. So when I say mental health, I'm not saying like major like disorders.
There's like a lot of loneliness.
You don't have anybody to talk to about things that's bothering you, things that you need to get off your chest.
But I don't necessarily, correct. But I don't know if that's necessarily a mental health thing or if it's like a loneliness, isolation thing that we might need to talk about further, and we can definitely tackle that. Another time.
We'll tackle it next week.
All right, brother.
I didn't talk to. Well, no. I'll talk to you next time. I didn't ask you about your Memorial Day, because we took Memorial Day off. Remember? Last week.
I didn't do nothing. I finished Ozarks. Sometimes, man, those holidays come and sitting around. I didn't really do much, and we have a lot of traveling coming up this year, me and my family. So anytime I cannot do anything and not spend money is a win. So I think I just caught up on Ozarks, finished that season, binged that. We're doing Stranger Things now. I don't know if you're into that Stranger Things on Netflix.
I want to be, but then I remember that like watching Netflix is a distraction that just eats away your time and doesn't allow you to improve yourself. So I tried not to, but it looks interesting. You're too
serious. Why so serious, Dwayne?
I'm not. It's just
all improving all the time, and no play makes Dwayne a dull boy.
It's not no play. I play basketball on Sundays.
Okay, that's true. Man. All right, brother. Good talking with you as always, man. Get this one out. Where's last week's? I haven't seen that one posted yet. Come on, man.
Yeah, it definitely hasn't been posted because I haven't edited it yet. And I will.
Get on that.
Before our next one, I know.
Yeah,
before our next one, I'm gonna edit this one and that one. So.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man.
What's the name of this podcast, though?
This podcast is called the Chess Moves Podcast.
Yes.
Make sure you hit that subscribe, like this video, comment. You'll get notifications when we drop new videos.
Yes, hit that bell so you're always notified when new videos come out, whenever I decide to edit them.
Yeah, and hey, if you agree with what Dwayne and I are saying, let us know in the chat. If you think we're complete idiots, definitely put that in the chat as well. It's fine. If you think Dwayne's a complete idiot, that's fine too. Definitely put that in there. And we'll talk to you guys next time.
All right.
Dwayne, I appreciate talking to you, brother.
Definitely, man.
Peace, everyone.
Yes.